that's fancy. You need you're
What
gonna
about-
need like a emerald
Right, I was just about to ask you about.
headset.
Right. Oh, that'd be nice.
That's what you need.
If we can get some listeners,
Smash the subscribe button below.
Smash it, and then we can invest in lavalier mics.
That would be great.
And that would be really good.
Here we go.
You know, you just
Look
gotta
at the
season
magic.
it with some olive oil. Oh, don't season it. We're not in the seasoning process. We're just in the lubrication process.
I'm gonna start melting. What are we making? What are we
Oh,
making?
cheesesteaks. I mean, so I don't think we'll have any
I love
cheesesteak
cheesesteaks.
like super connoisseurs, but like, so modified cheesesteak, no cheese whiz. I'm not a cheese whiz guy. But
Same.
Yeah.
Why don't you like cheese whiz?
I don't.
What's your beef with the whiz?
I don't like the idea of it being whiz. I think I'd feel cooler if I liked whiz, but like, I don't like cheese being in a.
For the first time, I
You
just
know?
put like whiz and pea, and it's like both yellow, and so it's weird that it's like cheese
Right. It's cheese pea.
That's
It's cheese
gross,
pea.
yeah.
Yeah. What about nacho cheese, like from?
I don't
Like
know.
No, I'm right there
no,
with you.
no,
See, and this is
no.
why we have a podcast together because we don't like the whiz.
No way.
The
That-
fake
I
cheese
don't-
is not. I'm not into it.
I just because like you spend so long, you know. I mean, especially if you've got good steak, and then you're just gonna like slime it down with
Right.
some
Isn't that, and it's,
nuclear
yeah, yeah,
concoction.
and it hits like your tongue. It's so hot. And this is hot. This is gonna be great. It'll be great. It'll be great.
Help me!
How dehydrated can we get?
Oh, what a world! What a world!
It hits your tongue in a way that I don't think anything's supposed to.
The only time
Um,
they're here. They're here. They're activated. They've been activated.
We're done.
We tried to get in
We're
the
done.
first
We tried.
episode.
We tried, you know.
Ugh,
Write us letters.
I think we're safe.
We'll be on the front lines, hopefully reporting.
Speaking of, that's crazy. I guess like by the time this comes out, it'll be yesterday's news, and who knows
Right.
how many bombs will have been
Right.
dropped
Right
since.
before that, can you grab the peppers and the
Yes.
onions? Sweet. Here, real quick, I'm gonna make sure you stand where you were standing. Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure you weren't out of frame. It'd be just my luck that you were out of frame
This whole time.
The whole time.
Hey man, you're the
Um,
chef.
Yeah.
So we're doing just.
So we're gonna we're gonna cook the peppers and
You want me to
onions.
hold the mic? I can hold it too while you just sweat all over it.
Sweat.
I went to a wedding one time, and it was like it was in the mountains,
Yeah.
but like around like July and August. I mean, it's so humid
Right, right,
everywhere, and especially up there.
Right.
And it doesn't get especially hot, but like 85, 80 degrees up there feels like 95 degrees here. And
right.
we were out there for a wedding, and it was outdoor. It was an outdoor
Ooh,
thing,
right,
reception,
right.
and it's in this homecoming revival tent
Oh,
type
that's
of
kinda
thing.
Were
It was
they having a
beautiful,
revival?
beautiful. No,
Oh,
it's
okay.
just the reception,
Got it.
and
Okay, got it.
and so they had they cooked a pig up, and
Awesome. Yeah,
yeah.
that's the way to do it.
and so and this poor man cooking this pig.
Oh,
it was,
right.
it
That's
was
so
like
hot.
it was like he was a football coach there at my high school, and he's just
Cooking
this
the pig?
cooking the pig up,
Is
dude,
he?
at the wedding, at one of my buddies' weddings, and
Why was he cooking the pig?
dude, in a small town, you gotta be a multitasker.
really?
I mean, it's a party, and so he's over this pig, and he's a bigger guy, bald, like Wilskin
as the
Fisk, Kingpin. Like, dude, the man is melting into this pig. like, and there's stories. Yeah, I don't know if you should say this, but whatever. Enough time has passed.
Wilson
this guy,
isn't watching.
this guy, this guy.
Shout out to Wilson Fisk of. I can't remember.
This man is a legend because he would ride around and like mow the football field and stuff like during school, but he would drink and he would get, and his drink was like this Diet Mountain Dew, and I think it was like vodka. He'd go out there and get hammered drunk riding around that lawnmower out there on the football field.
During school?
During school.
Now,
And
was he
they
a
would
teacher?
find him asleep. Yeah! But it was like, yeah! But it was like he was like PE. He's like a PE teacher. And maybe like social studies, like a history class, like remedial, like in the basement of the school. And he would just go out there and get blackout drunk. And you would find him just on that mower, just like a dead asleep.
Really?
Yeah. But dude, we were out there in this field, and it might as well have been 110 degrees, and he's just sweating. I'm so hungry because I'm so hungry, and you're around in this line full of people,
Right.
And I'm worried I'm covered in ticks. And we're just in the middle of the field.
Was it in the woods?
It was in the middle of the field, like a hay field, kind of thing. I don't know. It's hot. And so round in this line, all I can think about is like, damn, that barbecue's going to be so good, so good. And then I see, my old high school, like, football coach. I never played football.
Right,
I was
okay,
much too lazy.
Right.
But he was just like sweating over this. And you could see just drops of sweat just hit that meat, dude. It was gnarly. It's just like you get up to it. It's like, no.
Did you eat it?
No! Absolutely not! Are you out of your
Salt?
mind?
Just extra salt.
Ugh. And a little bit of Diet Mountain Dew and vodka.
Oh, man.
Oh, shoo.
We're going to work our way up to a pig picking.
A luau.
Yeah. Oh, a luau.
Should do a luau.
Yeah, we'll have to invite some people.
Spit roast a pig.
Oh, yeah.
That would be sick.
My friends in Ohio.
The season finale.
That's it. That's the season finale. We got to buy a pig.
If we can get 1,000 subscribers and followers, smash the subscribe button below.
And help us.
Keep saying
help us roast a pig.
My glasses are going to fall right into
Right into the pig. Right into the pig.
Yeah, I told the people we were drinking Sycamores. The
Yep.
IPAs are pretty good.
Hoppy, like as you would expect from an IPA.
Honestly, they're not that hoppy
Really? You don't
unless
think?
my buds have changed.
Buds have, you've drinking so many IPAs.
I've ran my buds off.
Ran your buds off through IPAs.
Yeah, I've been running like a 5K a day. I think I took
Really?
I took today off, and the day was
Good for you.
It was like
I almost drank my mic. I'm a father. I have a 1-year-old at home, and so that's my excuse.
That's where.
Yeah.
That's where.
I
it
almost
is.
poured coffee into a plate this morning. I got a plate instead of a mug, and I said, "Whoa!" I got the mug.
Gosh, what did you do today?
I got up, watched the news. That's not my usual routine. We'll get into that later.
Just you just wanted to kamikaze your day right from the start.
Right.
What channel? When you say watch the news,
It's
what do you
Breaking
mean?
Points on YouTube. I'm a big Breaking Points guy.
I hadn't heard
If
of
we
it.
could have Breaking Points sponsor this channel, man, that would be great.
Smash and subscribe.
Hey, smash and subscribe. If we could get YouTube channels to sponsor other YouTube channels. So watched.
Artists helping artists.
Right, exactly. That's what we got to do. So I watched that, then break down the news, and then I was going to church this morning. I was leading worship, so you got to get your mind in the right headspace.
That makes up for it.
If while I was praying at church for all my church going folk, I was trying to not make it so much about the war, but I'm sure a little bit slipped in that prayer.
What was the sermon on?
The sermon was on Sodom and Gomorrah, like the judgment of Sodom and Gomorrah.
Oh no!
I don't think it's going off to a really great start. I mean, it was a good sermon.
Totally get your mind right off the war.
Right. So, kind of talking about like mercy and judgment, and how big of a piece of crap Lot was. Lot's the guy that's in Sodom.
Lot's
and
an
Gomorrah.
idiot. Can we say that?
Basically-
Are we allowed to say that now?
For
That
sure,
Lot is a
for
fool.
Sure. Right. And here's the funny thing. All
Make
right.
you cloud.
Right. Here's the funny thing. It might not be funny to some people. I think it's very funny. Is that so? Like at my church, they open up the scripture and then like everyone reads through it.
Very
And
common
so-
Southern practice. I feel like, yeah.
And so community, whatever. So in this passage, it basically is like, so Lot's in Sodom, and then like angels are there, and then people are trying to break down the house in order to get with the angels and have sex with them. So Lot then goes outside and says, hey, chill out, basically. Instead of these angels, I'll give
Everybody
you my
be
two,
cool.
Right, be cool. I'll give you my 2 virgin daughters to do whatever you want with. And so we're all just reading it out loud, and I'm like in the second row, and I'm just like, at that point, I'm just going,
I don't want to repeat this.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, I guess you should. I mean, if you're gonna repeat everything else in the Bible, might as well repeat the stuff that makes you uncomfortable. But
I mean, I think that's important to push yourself out of like the comfort zone, especially in like that environment for sure.
Right.
'Cause,
So
yeah,
it's just one of those things that, I think probably that passage gets it's heavily focused on, the sodomy. The sodomy is very heavily focused in Sodom and Gomorrah, and I think, it touched on? Yes, it was touched on, as they're gonna do in church. That sounds weird, talking about sodomy and being touched on.
Touched on.
Anyway,
They're gonna touch you,
but they're not gonna touch you. Just hugs.
I think it's just like it's just funny too. It's just like to like Lot's just like trying to like. It's just funny how we constantly insert ourselves into things where we don't really know what's all going on.
For sure.
But like this breaking points thing, I mean, obviously, like what the big thing going on is, the Israeli and U.S. strikes on Iran, and last night Trump just came out, gave his address at 10 o'clock. Like he just won the NBA series.
Congratulations on the Warriors and not the Warriors, the American Warriors. I guess the American Warriors would still be the Golden State Warriors. Yeah. The military Warriors.
The military.
Which would be the guys flying the planes, not the guys shooting.
Which is, and I mean, like honestly, like I've voted for both major parties, and I'll go on record and say, like, I'm registered independent, and and so like I think everybody knows that both parties definitely has their problems, and we can get into that, but it's just like it's crazy. I guess, like, what was the last update you heard? Because then I can fill you in on, kind of like what's happening.
Yeah. So I got like the breakdown, like basically Trump announces it on Trump social, whatever, Truth Social. And then I read a breakdown, and then he goes out and says, hey, we blew everything to smithereens. Great job. Yeah. Now's the time for peace. So that was about it.
So
That's
apparently these I think there's some women, like Pete Hegseth said, our boys or something this morning, but I think there was some women maybe.
Hey, there you go.
On the flight. I don't know, but
we can all contribute to World War III. We
can all ladies,
contribute,
come on in.
It doesn't,
the time is now.
Identity politics is not for one group of people. It is for everyone who wants to contribute to the war machine.
Ladies, if anybody, like, if any white man wants to
Right.
now like enter into the conversation of equality, don't let them.
Right,
No,
right,
you
right.
don't.
You wanna know what?
Don't. You don't want to be
Right.
equal to this shit show of manhood.
Right. But
But-
you can. Now's the time. Now's the time to share the burden. Share the burden of the crimes we have historically committed. You too can participate in this bungled mess that we created for you. Now's the time.
So, so get
We're
this.
gonna
So-
lose. We're gonna gain followers we didn't intend.
So we're not building a militia. But anyway, not,
Not
yet.
yet.
But
That's our Patreon. Join the Patreon in order to join the militia. We will be releasing strictly training videos.
but apparently, so they had, I think it was 3 B-52 bombers take
Right,
off
right.
from, I think, Kansas City, Missouri. And yes, they drive 30 hours from Kansas City, Missouri, all the way to Iran. They refuel multiple times mid-air. And
What?
so yes, this
That's
is nuts.
insane.
This is nuts,
Did
man.
they?
Like, I'm
Do you
not
think they take a bathroom break? Do they have shifts?
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Or do
They
you
they
go
have a
in-
bathroom on the plane for sure.
Right.
And
What
so
do you
like
think the bathroom's like on a B-52?
on a
bomber?
B-52, I bet it just
I
like
think bad.
you really. I think
Yeah. There's no way.
I think
like,
it's just a hole.
it's just $1 billion. $1 billion to hold a bunker buster and make sure it doesn't blow up.
It's like
they're
30.
just
It's like
like-
30. I think the total tonnage of the bombs is like 30,000 pounds, something like that. Something crazy. But like they.
Right.
So they
Stupid.
like take this over there 30 hours, and apparently I heard, I don't know, like whatever, I don't know, but the rumors on the street is like there was mass blackouts in Iran, like people's, like civilians, like their phones and stuff wouldn't work, like we
Because of the
jammed.
bombs?
No, we jammed
Oh,
somehow their like signals.
Oh wow.
And so we just went over there completely undetected. And like, I just like
Little
imagine,
Starlink?
like imagine
Elon
you're
trying to get
sitting
back?
here and like, what?
Nothing.
Ima-
I was making a comment.
Imagine you're just like sitting here and like your phone, like the lights in your house, your phone goes off, you know,
Right.
and you just hear like this, like. You fly over your
Oh,
house or
yeah,
something,
yeah,
you
you're
know.
just like,
And all of a sudden it's morning. You
Yeah,
know? The white light is outside.
oh,
But
golly.
it's kind of
Right.
crazy, like the capabilities of like what we can do, and in like the dead of
That's
night.
insane.
But apparently the Israelis are now saying, Patches. This is Patches. This is the hair that you see floating, the
Yeah.
magical
Oh,
hair.
This broadcast is brought to you by Patches Hair.
Furminators. If you are associated with Furminators, smash and
yeah.
subscribe.
yeah, we'll take a
We'll take a free shipment. I've got
Yes.
2 gremlins.
exactly.
But yeah, and so but the Israelis are now saying that we kind of missed Fordo, the biggest one that they were trying to get. And that there was evidence that they already moved the stuff out.
Like, yeah, uranium.
Yeah.
Okay, I did hear that. Like,
And
Iran
so-
said we moved the uranium, so like they were, which I guess is objectively good because you don't want uranium just floating in. Marissa asked, my wife asked a great question. Is like, now is it a nuclear? I'm like, I don't know. But
I don't
moved
think
the
they have it.
Uranium.
I don't think they have nuclear weapons.
There's no. Of course not. They don't. There's no way.
I honestly think the Ayatollah is American and he's just like an actor. Wasn't that like Iron Man 2
Tinfoil hats
where
are coming on. All right, we're all gonna put them
you
on.
want to see what my TikTok
Yeah, yeah.
algorim feed looks like?
Real quick.
What you need?
We're gonna get some stuff. I'm gonna get a bowl for the meat.
Get that bowl.
We're on the meats.
Oh, we should do
So,
like some
you think-
ASMR.
The Ayatollah.
Yeah, wasn't that like on like Iron Man 2 where the
Oh, yeah.
terrorist guy was just an actor?
Oh, that's true.
You know?
Right.
And like, because what gets me is like, Iran's always been our boogeyman.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
And I don't know, call me a conspiracy theorist, but here's my take of what's going on.
Yeah.
I think you just spent how many billions of dollars leveling Gaza? How
Right.
and then
Tons.
and so Trump, our president's own words, the Riviera of the East
Right.
is coming to Gaza.
Right.
Well, who in their right mind is going to invest in retail and destination travel when you have the ultimate state sponsor of terrorism, next door,
Well,
basically?
that's true. Right.
And so you would always be in constant fear, or there would always be this overhang that, you're over there at the Riviera of the East, feet
Right.
back, probably haunted as hell, but, who knows? The sun will never shine there again. It's haunted. No. What? The ghost of Gaza's traveled all the way here. I'll take over. That's insane. That just proves that I'm right. That just proves that I'm right. So you can't have like a ballistic missile just like the threat of one just being lobbed over to all these new hotels. So now you got to take out the boogeyman. It's time. You've outgrown the shadow. I don't know.
But yeah, that's my take. That's crazy that just happened right there. That's funny.
Anyways, it's haunted.
Yeah, but I just don't think that you could risk putting up, 5-star hotels when you have, big bad Iran next door. And so they
Right.
have to gentrify the Middle
Oh,
East.
okay.
And so what you're seeing is like a big gentrification. Because like when Trump built his first tower, that Trump Tower there in New York, that neighborhood is like a piece, just like awful, just like a complete mess up there
Okay.
and near the park. And,
Right.
And so it's like, and then you go and you kick out, all the, minorities
Right.
and the, basically cleanse the ethnic neighborhoods and what you're doing there in
Yikes.
Gaza and now like what they're itching for in Iran, basically.
Right.
But you just have a big piece of undeveloped land now that Trump and Netanyahu want a piece of, and they want those investors over there make a buck. I don't know. That's dark, but I just don't see it really being resolved anytime soon, but I hope I'm wrong.
There's no way. There's no way. Here's the thing. We lost.
Yeah.
We lost. When's the last time we won a war?
It's been a hot minute.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time. It's
we
really
didn't
been a
win
long
in
time.
Iraq.
I guess
We
Korea,
didn't win in Afghanistan. The Taliban's.
Vietnam, wash,
Yeah, exactly. Korea, I guess.
and we kind of fudged that.
Right. I don't know
'cause
too
I
much
mean-
about that.
Well,
but
you
still got
the bad
North
guys
Korea.
still exist.
Right. Right.
So whatever we've been
So-
told, I don't know. I
Right.
don't know. I did see something kind of interesting and kind of creepy that
Could you give me the
that
bull?
apparently I've been watching the stars and the last time these constellations that are coming up on July 7th, the last time they came around on that date was apparently the beginning of World War II.
That's wild.
And so it got me thinking that it's just maybe these ancient people, instead of it's not really a calendar per se when you're talking about astrology or watching the stars, but you're trying to predict human behavior. And so
Right.
Mars and Mercury and war and toxic masculinity
Right.
and stuff like that. It rolls around every once in a
Right.
while, and maybe they're watching and that's why they would sacrifice things, because they figured out, hey, this big red planet making people go a little crazy.
Right.
So if we start, I don't know. You can go deep into that rabbit hole.
Join
But
our Patreon if you want to be a sacrifice. You can be a premium subscriber. Be sacrificed.
there's levels. There's
Yeah.
sacrifice.
If you want to be sacrificed
training.
to Mars,
Would you ever go live on Mars?
No.
No.
no, Marissa
Absolutely
isn't
not.
going to go live on Mars. I can't get her to get in a spaceship.
Would you want to go to space?
I'll go to space. I'm ready to go to space. I just don't
if it
see.
exists.
Space exists. Space exists. Space exists.
You've never been.
Yeah.
You just admitted it.
You haven't been either.
And I don't know if it exists.
It does still exist. It exists. We're sure space exists.
I guess. At least the top half.
The top half. What about the bottom half? No one goes to the bottom.
No one
half
goes
of
to the
space.
bottom.
You know?
Oh,
You're not going to the bottom half of space and interstellar.
Get them, Patches. Get them.
The space believers.
I'm so excited for these sandwiches.
Toaster buns. Figure out what happened to my Blackstone.
All right, how are we doing this? I need utensils, more utensils.
Here we go.
Perfect.
All right.
How do you,
We
how do you
both
eat?
just-
Eat with,
Let's
we're gonna be
make it.
trying to talk.
We'll be right back.
Yeah. I'm going down to the gas station, gonna buy a ticket to ride. Gonna find me a lady to.
Yeah, I think instead of like 24-hour news or like all-day news, they should stop talking and only do like you do like one in the morning, one at lunchtime, and then like in between, and then at dinner or after dinner, and then in between you show like educational videos of how to read, do math, drive, balance a checkbook, you know, like all kinds, you know, like PBS shows, and just shut up.
Yeah, but how do you do that without like it not being like state run?
I don't know. I don't care.
It's all,
As long as,
but basically,
well, it's like if it was PBS or
like
something,
NPR.
you know, yeah.
Right.
I don't
The
know.
glory days of NPR.
I feel
You
like
just have Ira Glass talking about.
there's a big market of like if you could have like an adult Sesame Street where they teaches you how to file your taxes, or you know, get a real ID, because have you gotten a real ID yet? I haven't either.
Do you want to? Would you like to cut this in half?
No,
Are you good? Okay.
I'm good. Let's see. Cheers.
Cheers.
What was that? Pretty solid cheesesteak. I dig it.
Yeah.
I think they should just bring back Sesame Street. Sesame Street even a thing? It's on Netflix.
Yeah. They took it down.
That's crazy.
But I think it's owned by Warner Brothers. So it was on HBO, but I don't think they're making new episodes. Which you could argue there's like 6,000 episodes of Sesame Street, so you could say, when do you stop making Sesame Street?
You need to go back and like see some of those early episodes. Those late 70s episodes.
Right.
Elmo's all cracked out.
Big
Just
Kurt's
listen to David Bowie.
strung
Young
out.
Americans, young.
Elmo loved David Bowie. I guess Elmo have to get another 8-ball for tonight. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 balls.
That's crazy. Poor
That's
Elmo.
insane. That's insane. But I think that like the old 70s episodes of Sesame Street were the ones that were like, here's how to tie your shoes, and
I think we need to get back to that.
like they would just I think I saw it on TikTok where they would just pan to like a river, and like.
See,
like,
I
oh,
love
cool.
that.
Right.
Yeah,
Mhm.
people
And it was
need
very
that.
slow and methodical and stuff like that.
It's like, I mean, you see how many adults like don't have shoes with shoelaces? Maybe because they stopped teaching us how to tie our shoes on Sesame Street.
Right. Right. Why does everyone need a Chromebook in order to go to school? You know? It's weird.
It was weird. God, I can't imagine what school, if the country lasts like even another 5 years, what public education will be like with like AI. And because I mean, they're all like hard nosed about it now. Oh, you can't use AI. You can't. I mean, it's only a matter of time before it's like, I can't tell.
Right.
You know,
right,
like,
yeah.
like you know, they like maybe they get better programs to check somehow. I don't know. But it's like it's always going to be around, so why not use it?
Right.
I don't know. Make college less expensive, or don't go to college. I don't know.
Maybe it could be like standardized tests. Like you can't like to do your essay. You have to stay in social studies for an hour and give your best X amount of words.
I mean, when I graduated, when I was going through college, I graduated in 2016. I was handwriting essays still, like for exams and stuff. And I mean, so I don't know. It's just crazy how fast it goes. But I don't know. If you're like 18 and watching this and like trying to decide like if you're going to college or something, don't do it. Go to community college. Go to a vocational school.
Yeah. Go to community college, get your basics out, then go wherever you want. If
Go
you
get
don't
a
like where you're
vocation.
going, transfer. It's okay. Transfer in state. You can do it like
Learn a skill.
Mm-hmm.
Hone in a skill.
Right.
A plumber, or I don't know. I wish I could work on cars or build things. All I can do is write dumbass songs.
That's a skill.
I guess.
That's a skill.
It's not much of a lucrative one.
No, it's not.
So,
It's not.
I mean, I would definitely... I had a vocation. Man.
Yeah. I think the hardest part is you can go to school for anything, but some of those things are harder to make money off of. Even like music.
Maybe next to impossible.
Right. If you're like, if you have a compulsion to be an artist, go to art school.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. I feel like in the music scene, you are disproportionately more successful as a artist if you have an education because like you understand the science of the art.
Yeah.
And
I would
you
probably...
have more time doing it. You have more time. You have more experience of just doing that thing that you can continue to do it. It doesn't mean it's easier to... You have more opportunities to make money. It's still a very hard thing to make money in.
That's true.
And so the starving is relative.
Yeah.
Is how long, how hungry do you want to be?
Yeah,
You know?
I mean...
And can you live off of like cheap stuff? Then then
I think if you're
that's
doing
okay.
anything like artistic, there's always going to be like, bobs and weaves, and stuff. And so like the lulls are scary for everybody. It's like even for like local artists and stuff, it's like you have a gig at a brewery or, the farmer's market. And it's like, then you don't have one lined up. That was like your last one. And it's just like, I don't know if I'll ever get to play again,
Right,
And it's like, and I think it works the same with like actors and anybody that's just like you devote your time and you set a goal, you accomplish that goal, you do a great job, but then there's absolutely no guarantee for a next one. So it's like no matter how good you do on that last one, that could always be your last one. It's crazy. It's crazy work.
Yeah. And it's contract work. It's there's
mental illness.
Yeah, there's a lot of mental illness. Yeah.
just compulsion. I'm playing at the Matthews farmers market next Saturday. Be waking up at like 6 a.m. and going down there, playing. I love doing that though. That's a good time. Shout out Matthews Farmers Market.
Shout out Matthews Farmers Market. If they could be a sponsor, wouldn't that be fun? If we could we'll just do the podcast.
Jess, please.
Jess, hey, if
we could do the podcast.
could do this when they have a chef demo. Oh my gosh, that'd be great.
We could record there next weekend too.
I'll just come on.
Just record the live set.
Come on. Yeah.
Might as well.
I'll bring the Blackstone and just start cooking. No talking. It's just you playing. And
That
me
would be
cooking.
great.
That would be so funny.
We're going to get real experimental. Just throwing stuff at the wall. These are great. I will
Yeah?
put them down.
You really
starving.
did. Okay, that's great. Do you want another?
No.
Okay.
I want to see these monster eggs. You got these from, because we saw these on TikTok. And it comes from,
I saw these on TikTok and I sent them to you.
It comes from, it's like India street food people.
Right.
It's the most disgusting foul.
A big part of my algorithm is Indian street food or other Southeastern
That's
Asian
disgusting.
street food. Yeah. And
I mean,
it's
I
like
don't-
guys that are literally cooking with rats by their feet, like giant rats.
It's just like
And these
flies
guys-
buzzing around.
Yeah. Just
Oh.
like the whitest egg, the whitest egg yolk. It's not like these chicken. The eggs that they're getting are just abused chickens, just an abused chicken.
Mange.
And
They're frying. And it's like this
Yeah.
huge bowl like this. And it's
Right,
just
right,
like a
right.
wok that is like some hubcap of like a 1978 John
Right,
Deere
right.
tractor
Right, yeah,
or
yeah.
something. And it's got like 50-day-old oil in
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
just brown sludge.
Oh,
It's
you're right.
Dude, it's
uh-huh.
like 200 degrees
Mhm.
on a dirt road.
Mhm.
You know what looks like ruins behind you. You know, and these fellers have like Coca-Cola and Monster, and they're frying up. It's always a scrambled egg.
right. It's
Like,
always
it's
a scrambled
always a
eggs.
scrambled egg.
He never cracks it all the way. It's always like kind of shaken up. He cracks it and then puts it on this super hot pan.
disgusting.
It sizzles. Then he puts in the scrambles it, and then serves it on a leaf. And
Who is eating that? Like, is
somebody-
that a joke? Like, are they like
I was-
trolling the
right,
world?
Right. Marissa was asking about it, and I've never seen anybody eat it, so it could just be for clicks. But we're gonna eat it.
I bet somebody's
Um,
definitely ate it. It's like that.
Right.
That I don't know. Maybe it's good. Maybe we find out that
No.
white monster and
No.
eggs are
Marissa
great.
said this was a waste of money. Mhm. Right.
That's
because one
disgusting.
Excuse me. You make like French toast, and then you have the drippings left. You got like the eggs left over, and so I was like, one time after we made French toast, I was like, what if we made sweet eggs?
Oh
Which is-
my!
which is, instead of a savory egg, you have a sweet egg. Which
That
really,
is that's. I
if I was
mean,
thinking through it, you'd make a custard because I think custard is basically eggs.
yeah,
Which that's gonna
yeah.
be
That
once we don't have a lot of daylight, we'll be making custard in the dead of night for the podcast. So I took I don't know. I think I scrambled the eggs and then maybe put syrup on them or something, and they were vile. It was horrible. Sweet eggs, not good.
Well, now I was about to say there are times where like if you get some eggs and you kind of dip them in some syrup and you have some like sausage too. I actually do.
Well, the
I do.
If
I
you
do
have the
with
sausage,
that. Yeah,
I could do sausage and syrup, but like
the
just
eggs have
at
to be
least-
pretty salty. Like the eggs
Right,
have to
right,
be
right. You
pretty
need that
salty and
sweet-
like
yeah,
greasy.
uh-huh.
Yeah,
But this was
not just like like fluffy
No,
scrambled.
these were a fluffy scrambled sweet egg.
You need some like salt and pepper in the syrupy eggs.
Right.
I made some stovetop biscuit donuts the other night.
Ooh,
They were so good.
how do you make
He's-
that?
You got the like Pillsbury frozen biscuits,
Mhm.
and it's better if you have the ones in the can. You don't have to like thaw out the bread.
Right.
But and you just poke a hole in the middle of it,
Mm-hmm.
put it in some vegetable oil or oil on the pan, fry it up on both sides, and then like I like put some sugar in a plate and
Ooh.
coated it in sugar, and then I'd like put some apple syrup or not apple syrup, maple syrup, some sugar, cinnamon, apple pie seasoning, and
Oh
a
my
little bit of
gosh.
flour, and mixed it up in some water, and microwaved it for like 30 seconds. Make like a glaze,
Oh.
and then put that on those little donuts. Oh, they were so good.
Oh,
Those
man.
are so good.
That's a recipe right there.
The best one is my grandma, my nanny used to do that, and mom used to make them and stuff, and get some powdered sugar, and that's the best way to
Oh
do it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sprinkle some of that on it, and if you have some cookie cutters and stuff, you can do the little munchkins, little donut holes.
Ooh.
It's pretty sick.
Right.
Baker,
delicious.
donut baker.
That was absolutely delicious.
I'll need to make some of that guacamole bread too. You
What's
make
that?
guacamole bread, and you don't have to use oil, and
Mhm.
because it's already so oily,
Oh, okay.
so it's just like 2 avocados, an egg, like a 3/4 cup of sugar, and I put blueberries in it and some flour,
Mm-hmm.
and you just mix it all up, stick it in the oven.
Really?
Yeah, and it's so good.
Oh wow. That
That's
sounds
great.
delicious. Oh man.
It's green. It's green and blue. It looks like something like Shrek eats. It looks crazy. It's so good. Put some like whipped cream on it.
That's wild. That sounds delicious. Mm. I tried to go through a bread phase and I didn't get
Yeah.
very far. I did like a 1-day loaf, and it was so much work. And I
I've
was
never
just
tried to make like actual like bread like that.
Like, it's a lot, or at least the book I was reading, it was like a lot of time because you gotta let it sit, and then you gotta like let the yeast like eat. You know,
Just, yeah.
And the yeast eats, and then it makes the
It's
bread
weird.
good, like
It's alive.
Right.
It's a science. It's a whole science experiment.
Mm-hmm.
The guy at the farmer's market has such good bread.
Oh, Verdant Bread! Shout out Verdant Bread. If we could get a sponsor for Verdant Bread,
They're great.
golly, yeah,
So
they're
good.
so good.
I can't wait to stock up on some stuff when I go down there.
Verdant Bread is so good. The other bread guy's good too.
I
I don't know
think-
their name.
I think that's the move, is to start just like, I think you just got to shop at farmers markets. I think especially
It's a
if like
move.
you're a single person, farmers markets,
Right?
that's where you should be
You're
shopping.
gonna meet the love of your life. at the farmer's-
Probably. Maybe.
It's not a bad bet.
It's not a bad bet.
I met you there. You're not the love of
Yeah.
my life, but you're close.
Close.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I think just like, well, cooking for one is crazy.
Right,
That's
right.
madness. That's lunacy.
Right.
And just because, I mean, especially now, it's like, I don't know, unless you're eating like puppy bowls every day, whether like rice
What's
and
a-
ground
oh,
beef,
okay, yeah.
and that's
Mhm.
it. Like, I think you can just eat out and it be about the same price as
yeah,
going.
might be,
And if
yeah.
you're eating a different meal every day, you
Mhm.
know, and you're trying to cook a different meal every day, that adds up. Like, especially if you're trying to eat like healthy.
Right.
So I think I think just like bang for your buck. I feel like farmers markets and like local shops like that would probably be more quality, probably a better price, because they're not all like perfect looking
Right.
or whatever.
Right. And you're supporting, like you can see the person who
Yeah.
you're supporting.
It's not plastic.
Right. And like other farmers markets, or like even farmers markets around here, like on the side of the road, they'll have a sticker that's like from Mexico.
Yeah,
It's like these are people at the Matthews Farmers Market. It's people who like grew it in
their backyard.
homestead.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, you can see them. And they're so nice.
They are really nice.
Yeah.
such a picturesque little farmer's market too. It's like something you would see on Gilmore Girls or something.
Yeah. It's definitely.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just
yeah, for sure. It's
like
so.
Stars Hollow
Yes. Yeah.
farmer's market.
Stars. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you just have the musician vagabond just trying to
Just
make a couple dollars.
a couple bag of peaches.
Right. Bag of peaches.
God, I hope they have peaches.
They'll have peaches.
Be great. That'd be excellent.
I played there
Yeah.
a month ago. They had peaches. But you'll
Nice.
probably have better peaches. Not to say that they were bad peaches. They're just not Freestone peaches. And Freestone peaches are the peaches that you think about when you think about peaches. These were
I don't know my
non-Freestone.
peaches.
All I know is Freestone and non-Freestone. And non-Freestone are like harder. It's like a California peach, I'd call it.
Gotcha.
It's just kind of more like a
Oh.
nectarine.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Way.
And so, but the Freestones are like that perfect, like in between
The mush.
soft and hard and so good.
Love that.
That's, yeah.
Love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, farmers markets is. Yeah, I don't know. You can't beat it. Sometimes it is more pricey.
Yeah.
But there was a time I tried to get all my groceries at the farmers market. Like, just try to. That dictated my meals. It's
Yeah.
like whatever you can pick up at the farmers market is like that's what you.
So I
can
kind
make.
of like the idea of that. I also like. I'm such a bad planner when it comes to food. that
Oh no, I
I
don't
just
plan.
don't know what I want as I'm in the car heading to get something. You know, so it's just like my refrigerator and cabinets and stuff, it's just like a sad state. It's just like all condiments. like Diet Coke, like cups, you know, from like McDonald's. It's so funny. Like I don't get anything. I don't know. I haven't been able to eat McDonald's or whatever. I just don't trust it. I don't know
Oh,
why.
really?
I just it weirds me out. Because where's the cows? Where are all those cows?
They're
But
somewhere.
but I just don't know. But I've been going in because you can't beat the Diet Coke. You can't beat it.
I think
Inside
they're supposed to have a special like Coke. I heard at one point like
Yeah.
they serve it in a stainless steel.
Yeah, this isn't. I don't think it's breaking news that McDonald's has the best Diet Coke, but like it's just so funny. I was pulled up there today. Actually, they gave me two. It's like, hey, you want an extra one? Had no business. I was like, yes.
Just getting faded off of
Yes.
2 Diet Cokes.
Give me that Diet Coke. Give me that DC. I love it.
What is it about the Diet Coke that sets it over
I think it's the
edge?
crisp.
Mm-hmm.
The chemicaliness is just right, and it stops me from eating. It's amazing.
Right.
It's amazing what it does.
You could have
The boys in the lab
you could
really
have-
killed it
what's-
with
what-
that one.
What's the shot that makes you not want to eat?
The Ozempic shot.
Yeah, you could have Ozempic,
Yeah.
or you could have
You do the old-fashioned way.
right and
yeah.
just drink 2 Diet Cokes every day. Right.
Trust me.
Mhm.
The aspartame will, you know, I don't know. I'd put aspartame against COVID, Ozempic, and COVID any day of the week. Love it.
Why Diet Coke and not regular Coke?
It was weird. It was like I've always been a Coke boy all my life. Coke boy, loved it. And I downloaded TikTok over the pandemic.
This is a
And
recent change.
and
Oh, wow.
and yeah, and it was like 2021, and I was living in Charlotte in Mint Hill,
Right.
and saw like people just kept on talking about how good these Diet Cokes were. My dad's been a Diet Pepsi drinker like my whole life, and I think that's gross. And so I was
I
like,
think they taste the same.
I was like, cut it. I'm done.
Pepsi and Coke,
I'm out of here.
Pepsi and Coke taste the same.
No way. I
Yes,
was
they
having
did.
a conversation that I could probably blind taste test different Diet Cokes from different fast food restaurants, and I would
We
nail
will
it.
do it.
I
We will
couldn't
do
get
it.
it because I
That's
was
the next
craving.
podcast. It's the
Last
next
night I was craving a Wendy's Diet Coke. I wouldn't have drinking a McDonald's Diet Coke.
No way.
Yeah, I
No
swear.
way. No
Because
way.
it's a little bit. It's not. Wendy's is a little bit less sweet and a little bit more metallic.
There's no way.
I promise.
This is crazy.
And Cookout had a totally distinct taste from Wendy's and McDonald's.
All right, well, let's get this documented.
But anyway,
Well, Wendy's, Cookout, what else?
I do
Burger
Wendy's. Yeah. Oh yeah. Wendy's, Cookout, Burger King, and McDonald's. I could tell you where they're from. Those four. I think those are probably the major ones.
So blind taste test.
Blind taste test. Oh, like the box or whatever you want to do. I could easily. But they have to be in their cups. They have to be in the original cups.
Why?
Because I think that makes a difference. Because sometimes
That might not make it blind.
well, I'll be blind. But you have to leave them in the cups.
No. You'll be able to tell which cups because the cups are going to give it away.
No, I'll be blindfolded, so I won't be able to see the cups.
But I'll have to get I'll have to have the same straw.
Yeah, that's fine. They can have the same straw.
Okay.
And I'll have the same straw, and you
Alright.
can make it where, like, I can't see the tops of the cups, or I can't see it all.
Right.
So, but they have to be in the same cups because the cups make a difference. Because McDonald's, they have a plastic cup, so that's going to taste different. And then the other ones have, like, styrofoam cups. Little Miss Addie. She'll know. Hi, Miss Addie.
Keep going, Landon.
But yeah, so I think I could definitely do it. It'd be easy. But anyway, I got
All right,
hooked
so
on
what
it.
does a Cookout Diet Coke taste like?
It's real sweet. It's
Okay.
pretty sweet. It's like probably the closest to like just regular Coke, I think.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know, syrupy. And Chick-fil-A.
Syrupy.
We'll add Chick-fil-A in there. We'll do 5.
5 Diet Cokes?
Yeah.
Now that to me is a waste of money. You'll have an aspartame heart attack.
Oh, no way.
Can you drink 5 Diet Cokes in a row? What are we gonna do with all these Diet Cokes after?
In a row, I mean, I'll buy them, pour them out, but I'll drink the best one. I think like I don't know what it was. I went and tried it I went and tried it, and I loved it. I couldn't get enough of it. That was the exact noise I made when I tried my first Diet Coke too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. It was amazing. I hadn't looked back since. I went on like a bender. No, but I didn't talk to anybody for like 3 months. Just wading around in my apartment through like Diet Coke cans and like McDonald's cups. It's
Hold on.
dark.
So when you okay, so TikTok during COVID, you're seeing a lot about Diet Coke, and so what was your first Diet Coke that you had?
I went to McDonald's and got one,
Okay.
and for the next like 3 months, literally just could not stop drinking
what
Diet
about-
Cokes. I don't
about
know
from
what
the
it was.
source?
It was like just an explosion. What? From the source? Driving down to Coca-Cola? DC headquarters? DC HQ? I don't know. Where are they located? I thought that was in
Charlotte.
I thought it was Atlanta.
Well, yeah, Atlanta, but they have a head. They have
Oh
a
yeah,
plant
I
here.
applied. I applied to the Coke place. I can't remember what that job was for. Yeah, tell him wolf.
What about the can? Like the can.
I don't know. I don't really mess with the can. It's got to be a fountain. It really has to be a fountain when the cans.
That's
What
from
are we
the
living in
source.
Fallout? No.
Yes,
That's different. Soda?
you served me.
Soda in a can? No way. No way. I'd rather have almost any drink on earth than soda in a can. I don't know what it is. It's gross.
All soda.
Yes.
Sprite.
No, not when McDonald's Sprite exists. I have a driver's license and money. I have the $3 to go to McDonald's and get a fountain one because that knocks your socks off. That's an experience. That's something that you'll remember for the rest of your life. A can? What are we? At some T-ball game? No. At a concession stand? Absolutely not. No way.
I remember more canned sodas than I ever have. Like,
So you're telling me that your top soda experiences come from a can and not a fountain?
yeah, like childhood, like popping open a can on
Rough.
the lake.
That's rough.
What are you talking about?
No, I mean on the lake. I definitely get it.
Hold on, pause this. I gotta say goodnight to my baby.
Do. Patches. ASMR. Is it ASMR or ASMR? ASMR sounds better. This is kicking in. And I just realized there was 2 servings per container, and I've definitely drank almost the whole thing. Fun. It's vegan? You camera shot Patches. Okay, you're so good. Patches Murph usually catches it. I threw it, expecting her to catch it, and it just hit
No, she does not catch. She does not catch.
her. Sorry, Patches. Didn't mean to embarrass you like that on camera.
Your dogs are very like nimble and cool.
My dogs are demonic and immortal. I guess I'm just jaded from soda. I think all my canned drink experiences, like the peak, it just like they were all trumped by beer. So I had to create a new peak for soda, and because it's just like that first crack of the first beer, like a Bud Light in a can when you're like 16 at a campground, like in the back of like
were
a
you drinking
Nissan Titan, you know.
I did not have, I did not have that.
and so-
Our first beer drinking would be to show how straight edge I was, I am. How straight edge I am. First beer.
knows this.
First beer alone. 21. Born in
nice.
1991.
Yeah,
And so didn't have a first beer until like 21. There was like one other guy who was 21 in college and was like, hey, you need to check out these beers. And so I go to the Earth Fair, buy like
Amazing.
the six pack and have
You remember
So-
what was it?
something like monkey, like psychedelic monkey.
Wild.
I don't know. Yeah, like some craft. I had no business drinking, and I'm just in my college apartment, and just like I think I crack open a beer and let. Yeah, I think I also a Fat Tire. It's a great beer.
Fat Tire's a great beer.
And then we had a dartboard, and I was just throwing darts alone while drinking my first beer.
That's such like a beatnik experience. I feel
I
like.
know. People say don't drink alone, and I had no one. I literally
Slinging darts.
slinging darts.
It's like
Oh my God.
1940. the street lights coming in through the blinds. So you're on like that little twin bed in the dorm room.
Right. These couches that I don't know if we had stolen or just somebody's couch. We shouldn't have been. living
Yeah,
on.
I had my first beer accidentally on a mission trip, funny enough, in Jamaica.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
and
That's pretty cool.
and it was a Red Stripe and
Red Stripe.
and
that's
I,
great beer.
I was just we were at a place, and it was like our one free day, and we went to these falls, and and they served me a Red Stripe. I was like in middle school or something.
Right, you don't know
And took a sip of it, and I was like, oh, this is definitely probably like not something I should have.
Right.
And I ended up pouring it out. But the first one, and it was a good little boy, and but it was pretty. I mean, I don't know,
Look,
Red
I
Stripe,
mean,
that's pretty
you're on a
island
mission
time.
trip. It's 5
And-
o'clock somewhere.
but-
unless you're on a mission
Unless
trip,
you're on a mission
then
trip.
it is 11 a.m. everywhere.
Always.
Always.
God lives in the 11 a.m. hour.
Right. I mean, when you're on mission, it's 11 a.m.
All
the time.
All day.
Right.
But I think the first time it was at one of my buddies' places, and we were all sitting around. He had an older brother and stuff, and it was definitely a Bud Light. And I was probably like 14, and it was just like 5 of us, and we were drinking. And I had one, and it was all I could do to drink it. I'd have to drink a little bit, and we had Oreos, and I'd drink an Oreo, and I was chasing the Bud Light with Oreos. Oh man, I remember the first time I puked on somebody was crazy.
Once again,
like-
our puking on. I don't know if I've ever puked on somebody.
Yeah, have
but
you
I
ever
got a-
puked on somebody?
I got a great puke story. Batches, you gotta.
What's your puke
chill out.
story?
My puke story. I think I've only told this like once. No, I've told it a couple times. Is I'll try not to make it super long. So, it was my last summer in Ohio, and I was living with for a week with one of my best friends, and his name's Ian, and I was living at his house, and he was working at Nordstrom's. He worked at the women's shoe department, I think, or the women's clothing department at Nordstrom's. So very like, I don't know, a bougie job for a high school.
Yeah.
So he needs a ride, like back from work. So I go and pick him up, and then I think he was doing something else. And so it's, I don't know, it's 1 p.m. and I was like, let's go get milkshakes. And so we go, and you know the milkshakes are divided. Excuse me, milkshake and malt. And I was like, I want a malt.
Oh,
So I get the malt. What's the difference from a malt and a milkshake? I don't know. Anyways,
I can't remember.
We were going on a double. I don't know what's coming out of my dog's fur.
Dude,
but
it's everywhere.
It's some, but there's
It's
some
tickling my
goop in
nose.
it. There's
Oh.
like some goop. She got a bath, but I don't know. There's like goop. There's rice. There's rice in my dog's fur because of my daughter throwing rice at my dog. Okay.
Patches, you gotta get better at catching.
right. Anyways, so we get the malts, drink the malts. I was dating a girl at the time, and I don't know. I just had like really bad anxiety, like about getting like sick or something like that, being on a date, and we had a scheduled double date with. It was like a triple date with my best friend and his girlfriend, and then my girlfriend, and we're going to the movies. And so my anxiety starts kicking into high gear. Like, well,
Are you lactose intolerant, or you just got just nervous you're gonna get
I'm
sick out of
probably
nowhere?
I'm a little lactose intolerant.
Yeah.
Dairy's not necessarily kind to me.
Little
It's
kitten.
not.
So I'm the same way. I
It's not
can't take
great
a lot.
To be anxious and drink a milkshake. I'll say that. You know, if that's
Milk was a
lactose-
bad
right,
choice.
If that's lactose intolerant, then no way.
Yeah.
So anxiety starts kicking into high gear. We drive to go pick up my girlfriend, and we pick her up, and I'm just getting the mouth, the
Kind of
just
the spit.
the spit coming in. I was like, this is not. This
Oh, that's
really
the
is
worst.
Not good. Oh, this is so embarrassing. I shouldn't be telling this on the podcast. And no one's gonna listen to the first podcast.
Oh yes, they will.
So I'm just getting it. And so then we're driving Ian's car. So he's driving. My girlfriend is in the front, and I am in the back. And
What side are you on? The side, middle?
I am in passenger's side.
Okay.
So I'm just like feeling it and just trying to keep up with the conversation. Like, oh, come on, like have it. Like, no, I
Yeah.
have no idea what's gonna
Yeah.
happen. and I think there was a plastic bag back there, and I just like pick it up casually, and I'm just like, okay, I don't know what's gonna happen, but and then before I know it, I just puke on myself, like kind of just like uncontrollable, just you know. Oh, no.
I've seen a person do that. I've seen somebody do that before.
Just puke
No
on
shame.
myself. And it's a good 15 minutes back to so she lived in Twinsburg, we lived in Aurora, and so now we gotta drive back, and I'm just like
no.
guys, I just puked on myself. And that was really about it. And so, you know, it was just so awkward. We drive back to his house.
You didn't make him stop or anything?
Well, I needed a change of clothes. And so it was like, we got to go back to your house because that's where my clothes
Sit in it.
are. Yeah. So I'm
Puddle it up.
sitting back there. And they're basically like, are you okay? And I'm like, I think I'm okay. And God bless, like, his mom. His mom and I didn't necessarily get along because I was a free spirit and didn't come home on time. And so, you know, he goes in and says, like, look, Andy puked on himself. And she comes out. She's like, hey, you get yourself cleaned up. I got this.
That's super
She
nice.
cleans it. I get in and change of clothes. We go see the movie.
Oh, yeah. Well, good.
It was great.
What was the movie? Do you
I have no
remember?
idea.
That's
It
so
wasn't
funny.
Inception. It wasn't The Dark Knight. I have no idea what the movie was.
So
It was one of
funny.
those, like, mid-2000s. Or no, this would be 2010.
It's
So
much
it's
more
like-
wholesome than my puking story.
Right.
It's-
That's my straight edge.
that's-
I puked off a malt.
See,
A malt.
I grew up in West Jefferson, North Carolina, like in like my dad grew up in a place called Raccoon Holler, if that gives you any idea.
Crazy.
And so I go to NC
Your dad
State.
does not look like a guy that grew up
No,
in Raccoon, which is kind of
Started from the bottom.
Your dad has come a long way. He looks like he does.
We've always had style,
Right,
you know.
right.
But he like we get down to NC State. Let's see, get down there in 2012. Graduated high school in 2012. So go down there. Thank God, like this is before like really social media like popped off.
Right.
And
yeah,
like
yeah.
people were really, you know, videotaping like everything and posting everything, and and 'cause I wouldn't have a job,
Right.
and but so and it was rush week, and like I mean, talk about culture shock coming from the mountains to Raleigh and like a city,
right,
and because
right.
I mean I grew up in. You had to drive for the longest time like 30 minutes to get to a Walmart, you know, or
wild.
something, and so we get down there, and I room with one of my best friends from high school or in elementary school. We grew up together and go down there and room together. We went to Cookout, I think, for like a solid week because like we were like, you can just go here. Like there's not, it doesn't have to be like somebody's like wedding or something, you know, or somebody's birthday.
Right.
And people just go to Outback just
Right.
to eat and for non-special occasions. And it's not prom. And it's crazy. It's crazy. And but that first week we're down there, we lived in University Towers, which is not really a dorm. It's like an apartment. And it was like me and my roommate, and then we shared a bathroom with two other suite mates. And rush week rolls along, you know, that first week, and so the frat scene in Raleigh, at least when I was there, I mean, it was huge. I mean, it was a
Right.
big deal.
Yeah.
And
Especially at NC State.
yeah, and you have, you know, Greek Row and all that kind of stuff, and there's and on Hillsborough Street. There at Snoopy's, the corner of Hillsborough Street, there was a Snoopy's. I think the Snoopy's is still there. And then there's this
What is it?
Snoopy's is like a hot dog hamburger
Okay.
stand
Got it.
kind of place. You drive up kind of to it, and there's a window. Snoopy's is amazing.
Okay.
They only have them, I think, in Raleigh, and such a great chili dog. But and there's this. It's condemned. I think they leveled it now. Thank God. But there's a huge frat house. I mean, it was like one from like the movies. You know, it's this
Right.
giant brick. You
Right.
know. The shitty furniture and
Right.
you know, trash all on the lawn, but it's like and it was somebody that it was a girl I went to high school with. She's like my the sister I never wanted, and her boyfriend at the time was in this frat, and she's a couple years older than us, and so she kind of showed us like we had an inside man.
Oh, that's good.
And so she was able to get us to this party at this fraternity for Rush Week, and like in Rush Week we're not like the fraternity type, but we figured it out that like they just give you stuff, and like you would just you go party, and like we're all for it. Like, I mean, we've been drinking since we were 14, so it's like we're ready for this. We've been training, and this is what the stories we've heard about on top of the mountain, and it's trickled up to the Shire, and so we get down there, and it's a Mardi Gras themed place. And I was on an industrial basketball team in high school, not great. And it was called
an industrial basketball.
It was like a hometown league, basically like where just like adults and anybody could make a team, and then you have tournaments and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And at the rec.
So you were playing with grown men?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We were good. I mean, I was not good, but my team was really good.
Right. Yeah.
And cause I was
you were good enough to play with a 35-year-old.
Yeah, well, it was mostly the high school basketball team, and like they were really good for where we were, and I was the scorekeeper, so for my high school team, but I played on the industrial league, but I just didn't do anything, just pass it to them, and like it have some 6-7 freak, put it in, and but our team name was cutting trees and dropping threes, because we were sponsored by one of my buddies, like tree farm business or whatever. And if you're watching,
we will take a sponsor from Tree Farm.
Any tree farm,
West Jefferson.
And it was this purple shirt. It was Laker colors, and it had like the the 3 sign, in the middle, and it stupid. And so we have this Mardi Gras party at state we're going to. I decided to wear that. And I don't have anything Mardi Gras. It was purple. And they have the beads, put on some stupid hat and probably some gym shorts, and walked up there. And just clearly frat material,
Right.
And I proceeded to just get blackout, just wasted. Just in those days, hitting the bottle hard, and just like a top, would just spin, and get there, and I'm like 2 sheets to the wind. I'm on this nasty frat couch in this like the entryway of this house, and the couch is like blocking the front door, and to my right is the living room area that's completely blacked out. It's the dance floor, and like they've got a DJ and stuff. Wow. I mean, this is a huge party, and there's like a couple hundred people or something there, and this guy comes down the stairs. And I'm sitting there, I'm wasted. And I don't even know where anybody is that I came with. And I don't even know what I'm doing. And he's like, "You want a shot?" Yes. Yeah. I'm not going to back down now. I can't just say no. And he hands me a room temperature half-gallon of Aristocrat vodka. And it's like, this is like $10 vodka, And he's like, take a shot.
Anything
I'm like,
titled Aristocrat is not Aristocrat. Yeah.
And he gets it, and I take a shot, and it's one of those moments where your throat like instantly closes, and it's not gonna let you swallow. Like, no matter how hard it's not. And I like choke it down the best I can. And I'm just standing there, and he goes, the dude's eyes get real big. He goes, "Man, are you okay? You just went what?" And I'm like, yeah. He goes, "All right here," and I go, and I make my way, and I got my red Solo cup right here. and I feel it. I feel that I'm going to expel this liquid. And so I'm making my way through the dance floor, and I'm just trying to keep my feet moving in one direction. The strobe lights are going, and I'm just, my mouth is locked. My jaw is just locked. And like you get that saliva, that like you gotta spit. This dude comes around. He's coming towards me. He's got the whitest shirt I've ever seen in my life. It's like bleached, had just been dry cleaned and pressed. It's got the little polo man on it. Life of the, king of the castle vibes here in Fratland, Dude, he's past me. I'm coming to him. We lock eyes. We have a moment. I look this man dead in the face, and I open my mouth and projectile exorcist puke all over him. In the middle of this dance floor, in this crazy frat house. It's just like I'm talking like 5 Mississippi. Like 1 Mississippi. Like, and he's just standing there. And I'm able to direct the flow into my red Solo cup. And like fill it up. And like I just go, I don't stop. And I put the puke cup under the bar. Luckily, I figured out I had 2 cups stacked on top of each other. So I take the puke cup, slide it under this makeshift bar. I'm standing there, and I have this other empty cup, and I'm like, that I like, just be cool. Just be cool in the bar, and like, I'm gonna get another drink. Just be cool. Because I'm feeling better, and like there's nothing I can do about it now. And I'm waiting for the bartender to turn around and talking bartender, but it's just like some like Rush or whatever, and with a Gatorade cooler of like jungle juice, and I'm sitting there, and I get a tap on the shoulder, and I turn around. And it's the guy, and he's covered in puke, and he's like, "Did you just fucking puke on me?" I'm like, "No, that wasn't me." He goes, "Well, then who the hell was it?" He went that way. I was like pointing to the back of the room. He goes, "Dude, you have fucking puke all over you." And I got it all over my First thing I look at, I got money. I got money. I don't have any money. My family doesn't have any money. I've got money is the first thing I'd say. He goes, "Get the fuck out of here." And then I remember running. I just remember running past Snoopy's. And I think I fell asleep in the laundry room at UT that night. That was crazy. That was a crazy, crazy thing. Lifetime ban from like Sigma Nu or whatever it was. Insane. Yeah, the state years. The state years were legendary.
Oh, that's so funny.
Insane.
Oh, that's so funny. All right. I think there's only one other way to wrap this up.
What you thinking?
Monster eggs.
Monster eggs.
All right. The only fitting way to end this podcast is by
making
monster eggs. So we got white monster, scrambled eggs with onions and pepper.
Are you sure we won't go to jail for mixing these two things? Is this a war crime?
I'm not sure we won't throw up after this.
Shoo.
We gotta let this.
What does white monster even taste like?
No idea.
I want to try it before we dump it all out.
I've only had one monster in my whole entire life.
I'm not a fan of Monster. I'm not a fan of Monster. I'm a Red Bull boy if I'm going to do one. Actually, the ghosts. The ghosts are pretty good. I'm trying to get like off those, but
Right.
The ghosts are good.
If we could be they sponsor podcasts.
Yeah, I'll drink them. I'll go right back on them. Hit that subscribe button. I'll blow my heart up for a sponsor. Ghost, if you're listening, I'm a big fan of the orange creamsicle and the Welch's flavor.
Welch's?
Welch's grape. Oh yeah.
Welch's grape collaborated with Monster?
No, with Ghost.
With Ghost.
Getting
Whatever. Tomato,
there goes
tomato.
our sponsorship. No, not the same thing. Ghost, if you're listening, this man thinks Coke and Pepsi taste the same thing. There's clearly something wrong.
We're at 4% battery. I need to get this. All right. You think it's
Maybe
good?
the walk is the way to
I
go.
think it's good. We have those plates on deck. All right. All right, here we go. Maybe the walk.
You need the power of the yellow sun.
Here. Landon, you got to try the Monster. first.
me try it.
Oh, this looks so good. All right,
Is it white?
It's a white Monster.
Tastes like every other one. Ooh, that like coated my tongue. That's like a cold liquid cough
Oh,
drop.
that's so bad.
That's that in eggs. That's already making my stomach like invert on itself.
All right,
Oh my God. No, that looks exactly like the video though.
Right, yeah. Exactly. All right, here we go. Done with a spatula. That
I don't know what to say. Never. The smell is hard to describe.
This is gonna be so bad, dude.
It's like when you burn newspapers. there's like a burnt ink quality. Dude, if Anthony Bourdain might rise up, the ghost of Anthony
so
Bourdain,
sorry.
and knock off
I'm
this
so
thing.
sorry, Tony.
Oh no. That looks just like the frat house. See, that's incredible. Talk about a bookend moment.
I don't know. This monster really cooled off.
Oh my
The whole pan.
goodness. I didn't think about that.
It's super
Maybe
powered.
I bet they use warm monsters.
This,
Probably should have poured a cold one on there.
he's alarmingly, really cooled off this pan. Oh, these eggs are really just soiled.
Oh my
Soiled these
goodness.
Eggs. Oh Lord.
That is that.
don't know.
Look, is there egg left? I think the monster ate the egg.
I think the monster is eating the egg. I don't.
It's like disintegrating. It looks
Right.
this.
Right.
It's just a.
I don't think. It's
It has to be a joke. It has to be a joke.
And I did the dumb thing of like, I should have added the cooked onions and peppers. These are good.
Just raw. Oh my God. That's like girl dinner. Hashtag girl dinner. I'm just going to fry up some eggs, gang. Check out my channel. Welcome back to my channel.
All right, Landon. Can you give me a plate?
That's foul. Literally.
Okay.
Whew.
All right. There's 2 forks that should be there. Oh man. Oh man.
Here's yours.
All right.
I just want to show. I don't know if this will focus, but that is what we're working with.
This is so bad.
This is like
All right.
reminiscent of the green eggs and ham.
Right. All right. Cheers.
Cheers. That tastes crazy. That tastes crazy. I don't hate it. I don't hate it.